You wanna go up?
No, mate. You're right. Just get something out of the back.
You pass around, you'll be under a televised video. I don't mind if you don't mind.
That's absolutely fine.
Oh.
Held his land of glory, we the Amazonian nation loyalty. Presence to our Savior who granted us the freedom, and legends to the heroes who fought the lonely gather. Glory to glory, we rise and never to fall. Hearing the nations flowing with us and body. Glory, glory, glory to the Father for making you a nation and joy forevermore. Ambatonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty, meeting our need. And your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God being the watchman of His nation. Ambatonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty, meeting our need. And your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God being the watchman of His nation.
Fellow brothers and sisters, my fellow comrade, dearest Ambazonians, this is Mandela family spokesman, aka Major General Verla. It is a pleasure again once more to address the nation amid everything that is going on. First and foremost, I want to start by thanking each and every one of you for your enormous support towards the total liberation and final pursuit of happiness for more than 16 million people of the former British trusteeship territory, aka today known as Ambazonia, southern Cameroon before. Thank you, and thank you. Today we shall go with the State of Nation address in two phases. In the first phase, for the first 30 minutes I will speak, and for the last 30 minutes we shall do crosstalks by showing you relevant past information and things that can help us shape the behaviors towards the final journey to our total liberation. Thank you so much for coming, and God bless you. Fellow brothers and sisters, after 4 to 5 years of the struggle, we've had so many mixed feelings. And a time where some people think what they are doing is right, but maybe it ends up not being right. Sometimes some people think what they are doing is correct. Maybe it ends up not being correct. But as a struggle, no one went to school in order to study how to liberate a people of God. It is something that comes naturally. And each and every one of us are putting our best to see that we make everything possible towards the total freedom and liberation of the people. Mistakes are human. You know, as humans that didn't go to school to learn how a liberation struggle is being fought, we are bound to make mistakes. But the way we go around when we make mistakes is what defines who we are. In the dictionary, I don't want to quote the Oxford, there is a term which is humility. You're bound to be humble. And there's also another word, I don't want to know whether it's coming from Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia, the word submission. Sometime in life, a wonderful humble wife submit to the husband, and a wonderful husband submit to the wife, not because the wife has horns, not because the husband has horns, it is just because to make the family to succeed and to foster the greater, greener pastures of the children, the offsprings. And so it is not as if the husband doesn't have horns or the wife doesn't have horns, that there's an act of submission or humility. And therefore, a people that want actually to free the people and have made mistakes like any other human being on earth are bound to submit, to show signs of submission. And that is why so many of us who are standing day and night, tooth and nail, saying that the only way is that we have written the obituary of Cameroon. that we have already and destined for only total liberation, the pursuit of happiness of the people. We have made mistakes like any other person in the revolution, but the difference is that we have come to our people and say, we are sorry, forgive us. We thought this thing we made was going to bring us this result, but it went in a way that we didn't expect. The enemy infiltrated and derailed and took the narratives and changed the destination of the narrative to suit the enemy. But because we are Ambazonian Never Again generation, we come to our people and say we are sorry. Fellow brothers and sisters, fellow Ambazonians, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to address you today. Look, it took almost 4 years in self-defense, and all we see every day is an Amba faction fighting against another one. We have given a term the sister forces, but at the end of the day, we do not see any support going towards the sister forces. And then when we ask questions, how does the enemy attack reputable forces, like example the EDF? We have seen in one way or the other that the differences between us have made the enemy and given the enemy the opportunity to come towards one of the sister forces in order to attack the reputable forces. And so we were left with nothing than to revise the laws and the norms of wars, starting from the First World War to the Second World War to Peloponnesian Wars. And one of the most important terms that we discover is collective security and balance of power. My dearest brothers and sisters, fellow compatriots, how does this work? After the First World War, when the world said never again, they came together to form the League of Nations. The reason why they formed the League of Nations was for the world to contribute forces so they could come together to form what they call balance of power and collective security. So that when another country, which is called, quote unquote, in that term as an aggressor, we attacked another country, which in that term is the defendant, then the forces that have come together to join to form collective security and balance of power, we then come together and flush that country. First World War, it was Germany. And when these things didn't work after the Second World War, because that was meant to prevent World War from happening, but still, Second World War happened. As humble as the world leaders were, they decided to put the egos under, and they said, look, if we have come with the League of Nations to say never again shall the world entirely go into a war, and then it has happened with the Second World War, it means that whatever we talk about was wrong. It was not right. Maybe we had a good agenda, good gesture, but the way we put it was not right. And so the world decided to form what we call today the United Nations. And the prerogatives of the United Nations was to prevent the Third World War that ended in Cold War, the bipolar Cold War. That exactly ended another world war from coming. The League of Nations came together with the same reason, collective security and balance of power, and that is what we call today as the United Nations Security Council. The United Nations Security Council might have failed in one way or the other to prevent chaos around the world, to prevent justice, to prevent things that are causing the loss of lives. The United Nations could be blamed today, but we know the power parity in the United Nations Security Council have prevented the Third World War from coming. And that's why the bipolar war that was fought between the Soviet Union and the America ended only in Cold War without any atomic bomb being fired, like what happened in Nagasaki in Japan during the Second World War. Indeed, the war in Suez Canal between Egypt and the other surrounding countries in terms of trade, fighting to have to own the Suez Canal. The president of the United Nations Security Council troops prevented the war and ended the crisis in negotiation. But indeed, today there's still a little chaos around the world. We have not forgotten the people, the Catalan people fighting to free themselves. Neither have we forgotten the people of Zambia who fought so hard and freed themselves and made even the United Nations and the African Union bystander. We know the people of Eritrea who fought so hard to free themselves, not forgetting South Sudan who had to fight for many years. The genocide in Rwanda happened in the nostrils of the United Nations Security Council. So too is the Southern Cameroon genocide going on today. But as a people, we are the ones that are suffering. It is our family that are losing their lives. It is our people indeed that are going through all this mayhem from the enemy Cameroon, La République du Cameroon, the French Cameroon, supported by French hegemony in Africa. But when the Mandela family look upon the past 4 years and see sister forces attacking sister forces, or the enemy flipping the coin and using sister forces to attack sister forces, the Mandela family decided to come together to support sister forces, to create alliances amongst forces, to create a balance of power and collective security for the people of Southern Cameroon. And when Mandela family deliberated this, there was also fear like any other person. Maybe supporting other sister forces will empower them to destroy the ADF that we have all come together as mother force to put. But Mandela family deliberated with the eagle eyes of the vanguards. And they discovered that no, if we brave the odds and talk to them and support them and show them the love we have from internal, from inside us, then they are bound to listen to us. And indeed, the Mandela family came to a compromise that we are not going to make it in public. We are not going to tell it to one another what we are doing. But we want to support sister forces and doctrinate them the need to stand together, shoulder by shoulder, rooftop by rooftop, block by block, state by state, in order to free the land. Indeed, just a few months ago, we have seen what is happening today. The enemy is bleeding. The enemy can no more bury their beliefs in hidden corners. The enemy can no more stop funerals because the enemy cannot even control the number of their troops that are being lost. That is what was happening to our motherland. Most of our forces were killed by the in-house fight. La Republic was already defeated. We knew that is a fact, but the quest for power mongering set us back, and we knew that's a fact. We supported Dr. Cho Ayaba indeed, because he's one of the leaders that have proven less of a power mongering. Now, knowing that every leader is not a saint, knowing that every leader have a power mongering agenda, we look upon the ADA and see Dr. Cho Ayaba say, have ownership of your block, support your block, and stand with your block. As a spokesman for the Vanguard Mandela family, I am one of those who own blocks, control my blocks, and sold my blocks for the past 4 years under my control. That I decided personally to bring them under a command structure that respect human rights, respect the Geneva Convention, laws governing wars. And we have seen clearly how the ADA fought. We decided to bring all our blocks together to form one CIC and meet many CICs like me. And therefore we brought a code of conduct where we could bring morality, respect to our civilian population, and the code of conduct that recognize sister forces and will not fight sister forces even when attacks are launched upon us. And therefore, being a testimony and being a witness of all these things, we categorically say Dr. Cho Ayaba is a good leader. Fellow brothers and sisters, we want to thank the Mandela so much for the wonderful support to the sister forces. You made sister forces to believe in themselves. You made them to believe we are one. You make them to believe one another that the fear of sister forces is what is causing the tension. You make them to know that if they come together and believe in themselves, La Republic will cry. And it has not taken up to 6 months. You have seen that happening. Sister forces, some of them wrote letters of thanking the Mandelas for what a great gesture they did. And some of us went and advised them again, no, do not write those letters of thanks. Don't bring it out in public because the enemy is going to attack you. Because the Mandelas don't have agenda of showcasing what they did. The agenda is to make sure that Ground Zero become ungovernable for the enemy so that our people can take over control. Indeed, Mandelas, thank you so much, the Vanguard. Thank you to those who support the Mandela's humanitarian gestures. We recognize great gestures. Our mothers in New York, in America. Our mothers in Oslo. Our mothers in UK. Those in Belgium and Germany. We recognize the patriotic, wonderful works of Dr. David Makongo, a great man of honor. Thank you, Dr. David Makongo. We met in the Gold Coast and we talked about how to bring peace in the revolution. I didn't even know how we're going to go about it. But today I can come to tell you that I was sat in Gold Coast, meeting the refugees and talking with refugees, and the refugees comment and told me to bring peace in Ambazonia. Refugees from Ghana to Nigeria to Ground Zero that I saw, you told me one thing, to work so hard to make sure that peace comes to our land. And today I stand here to address the nation that the Mandelas have made it happen without talking behind the scene, by supporting sister forces and indoctrinating them not to fight their fellow brothers and sisters. Yes, it has happened. You can now see last week I told you that there will be chaos for La Republic because I knew what we have done behind the scene, and with the creation of their armory to the ADF. The ADF sold a lot of materials out. And I know those materials, when they go out, the enemy will cry. Indeed, we saw it. God bless you. Thank you so much for your wonderful support. We are moving to the second part of this edition today. God bless you, and welcome to Liberation TV. This is your spokesman, Major Gen Verla. Thank you, and welcome. Welcome to Liberation TV. Thank you. This was reality. Even though so many politicians and bad leaders in the struggle did everything to sabotage this great heroic movement, today history has proven that Dr. Ayabacho Lucas is a revolutionary leader, the father of self-defense. He does not just go to Canada for conferences abroad, does not just go to Belgium for conferences abroad, does not just go to South Africa for conferences, does not just go to Nigeria to sit and talk about things under the AC. Dr. Ayabacho Lucas believes in walking the talk and not talking the walk. Somebody who goes live and speaks for 10 minutes. Look at his pocket. He is well secured and armed. Look at his pocket. You can see his pocket, where his pocket is. Look at his waist level. The waist level is well armed. In him, there are more than 3 pistols ready to pull the trigger. He's a man of dignity, man of respect, man of his words. This was in Amazonia, in Daddy village. So many people were very jealous, very greedy people. They did everything to sabotage this movement. Today, history has proven. Unlike Akwanga, Dr. Ayaba is a father of self-defense, and no one can stop that. That's the reality. With Dr. Ayabacho Lucas, Ambazonians have regained their hopes. We have restoration today and self-defense. We have the military today. We have well-equipped and armed soldiers today. Thanks to Ayabacho Lucas. It will never be business again. Politicians can play their game. They can extort money from people and not put in action. They can lie to people, they will deliver and don't deliver, and the people keep supporting them. The real Ambazonians now know their leader. The real Ambazonians are awakening that we are in a revolution and not in a party ceremony. We are not in church ceremony. God bless Ayabacho Lucas. God bless Ambazonia. We now believe in the real people because we believe in reality now. We now see the reality because we have nothing left than our revolution. We have nothing left than to win. Let the people playing politics continue to play politics. Let those bad people who has come to continue so that we may suffer in this revolution. So many times they have tried to discredit the works, achievement of our great leader. Some of us were taken away from the great leader, but we have now seen the need for independence as the ultimate need. And we are now standing in the self-defense, in the roadmap called self-defense that was crafted by Ayabacho Lucas, just like Dr. Ebenezer Akwanga. As much as we believe in Dr. Ebenezer Akwanga, we believe so much in Dr. Ayaba, who has stayed in one area and has not moved. Since he came with AGC, he formed the ADF wing, which is the military wing of the AGC. With the Ambazonian Governing Council, the issue of the flag, he has been so brave with the issue of the flag, the issue of having Ambazonian military. He knows that if you want to form a country, you need to have the military because you need to seize your sovereignty. You need to control your land and make it ungovernable for the occupier, for the illegal occupier, La République du Cameroon. So many people have been fighting, believing in diplomacy, but he believed in targeted diplomacy, like the one that you saw in UNPO of recent. Like, he believed that we must smoke the hell of La République out of Amazonia and chase La République to the gates of hell. Look at his waist pocket. His waist is well armed. Inside him are many pistols that are ready to pull the trigger. He does not just place everything in the hands of the security or military. He himself is a chief in command. Not like that one in Yaoundé who cannot even use a knife. But he can, if he give AKs, he give on bazookas, if he own Kalashnikovs, he can operate all of them. Long live Ayaba, long live AGC, long live Amazonian Defense Forces. This is Colonel Verla. I support the initiative. Initiative that protect women and girls. Initiative that protect our children that were killed. We imagine from the beginning if AGC existed, La Republic.
I wonder why we're wasting time running on the spot when, let me tell you something, Joe. See where we are, see where we came from. Let me tell you that this is a brief history of this crisis. It started with teachers and lawyers' grievances. I don't remember.
Raise this initiative and actually tell us that if in after putting this money down, if in 12 months after that he is not able to take us to a considerable distance or exactly to Boya, we should make our judgment and give him a vote of no confidence. Mr. President, is that still the case?
That's exactly the case. And I can tell you that that is exactly the case. I'm only here if I have an agenda. I am only happy to be here if that agenda is successful. And that is why I'm here. I'm asking Amazonians, can you give me what I'm asking for so that I can do what I think we have to do to get to where now. Matter of fact, I'm happy with the response because that response gives me a mandate. Because practically speaking, if I didn't see that response, I will even consider my resignation because I don't want to sit there and feel like I can do something and I don't have the ability to do it, and tomorrow they will be asking me, what have you done? Because I know what to do. This IG knows what to do. The strategies work. They will work. But how do we get the job done? So give me the tools so that you don't blame me that what have you done when we'll have to contain this mess forever and to get to a point where we can no more contain it and the game is over and the enemy starts celebrating. You can take that celebration away from them. I can assure you that if in the next 1 month we have this amount of money, we shall change, that's my promise, we shall change the equation. Now it is not balanced. It is not taking us to anywhere. I can promise you that we shall change the game and change the equation. We will accelerate. And everybody will see the distance, how far we shall be in Boya if we are not already there. You will have a chance to appreciate what happens And if you think that I failed, I will gladly give the crown to somebody. I want to live for a purpose. I don't want to live for a name.
Raise this initiative and actually tell us that if after putting this money down, if in 12 months after that he is not able to take us to a considerable distance or exactly to Boya, we should make our judgment and give him a vote of no confidence. Mr. President, is that still the case?
That's exactly the case. And I can tell you that...
Fellow Amazonians, I want you all to see this type of nincompoop. I want you to see this type of people, and then you can make your judgment. He said you can make your judgment. It is your time to make your judgment. It's not only after 12 years. It's more than 2 years. It's more than 2 years. He took that money, didn't do anything, did not take you to anywhere. He told you to give him a vote of no confidence. And that's exactly, after that, he said to draft from you. And still did not succeed. Now, how can you give him a vote of confidence? I just want to bring this out to you to see why Mandela's decided to just move around and solicited ground zero forces to recognize one another and seek peace among themselves without taking any order from these people abroad who are meant to help and put money in their pockets. Exactly, that is one of the reasons when we hit the scarf so hard and hit the scarf so hard, the scarf chairman had no choice. The scarf chairman decided to speak out. And this is what the scarf chairman revealed. I want you all to see this.
I hold it for my conscience for tell the Amazonian people today. Say, when I know when Secretary Chris Ano be resign. This is the crook of the matter. When he be resign, because of the problem with APNC, a situation happened.
What?
And if any man argue me, I go show you with proofs of videos.
Sure.
I mean audios. When Chris Ano resigned, I try to find out what happened.
What happened?
That one passed. Suddenly, I received a call from my sister, Madam Ngwa Irene.
Now your sister, Abi?
He had Joshua Carr for line. And he tell me, say, we need to do something now because APNC go whole. Mr. Siseko, he don't talk, he want control IG, he want controlling them. We don't finish. We don't finish, we go lost power. We need to do something now. I say, so wait till we go do. Say, you need to do something. Wait, I need for bring up some story. I need to bring up some story for frame me up. I said, which kind of story? Joshua Carr was on the line. He said, we get to create them now to make the media know, say, he hold meeting from prison. And so if he hold Zoom meetings on prison and he control the people outside, La Republic government, they know the authorized phones or communication outside, they go send him for solitary confinement. When they send him for solitary confinement, that will be all and they go walk without any rivalry. Joshua Carr was very excited for go do that. Make he go try for argue me. Make I prove him. I don't be quiet for a long time.
Sir.
I tell you, say, make he put Chris Ano on the line. He had Chris Ano. And I advise him. I hold it for my conscience for tell the Amazonian people today.
Now, so when the year one by one. This kind of thing, not be today you come here. That's it. For before when we come put this thing out, you see the pay allegiance for the thieves. You not believe. When they start kidnapping your family member off and top another one, start ask ransom. They want kill me for Naija because I want bring peace for Amba. I go for refugee camp, people they don't pay people for refugee camp for kill me. At the worker, I know say are they so they are Judas Iscariot. Because we believe in self-defense. What we are come carry, the way where they be the move spiritually. Cultural way where be the move, not be easy one. Even the people when they pay me they come, when they see me, say the one not be easy one. I'm moving and helping people among the people I'm helping with my own hard earned. Paying flight from America to go help the people in Ghana and Nigeria in ground zero. I know they want to kill me because I want peace to come. But I did not stop because I know I'm working for the people and the innocent blood of our people. That is not even enough. And some of you can now see this thing today and say, oh, Ethiopia, wow. But at that time, you were helping them. You were clapping for people who were collecting money and giving to these people. And if those people, those activists who were standing with these people at the time make mistakes today, and some of us say this is a mistake, you still will not believe. And some of you who were so very strong supporters of these leaders, today you are still, even when we correct activists that you were supporting, you still come to fight us. But my people, it's not a walk on the park. That's how an independent struggle is. There are some people who think actually that they are doing right, but actually it's wrong. But actually in their mind, it's not as if they are traitors. That is the way they think. That's how they reason. They think that is right. Some people are attached so much to their tribal people. Some people are attached so much to people who come from their area, or those who were their classmates, or people who grew with them. Some people just want, like, oh, I know this person is somebody I know is going. So when they make mistakes, they don't even correct them. They just feel like it's better to have somebody representing them from their village. Exactly, some people are skeptical about this power concentration. They don't want one tribe people to concentrate power like Yaoundé, the Bulu people. And because of that, some people are making mistakes because they want power destabilization. So they want at least somebody from their village talking for this struggle. And I understand that. But this is still a liberation phase. When we give power to our people, then anyone can contest for election. And then you can support even your tribal person. If they become president, good for you. This is liberation phase where it is on the bullets and gun talking. The enemy understand on the bullets and gun. They will go to Chad and bring Chadian to kill us. Go to Gabon and bring Gabonese to kill us. Go to anywhere. Go to Kolofata, North, far north to bring these people to kill us. And so at this time, we need to always know that we are one people. Look at this. If I want to share you this, look what a chairman of a state will do. I want you to look at this. Look at this.
When they confronted the gang of murderers, it turns out to be about 39 ADF fighters. A battle quickly ensued, and even when the mission commander noticed that they were ADF fighters, called for restraint, called for them to put down their arms, they did not put their arms down. Unfortunately, I say, this was led by their own brother, whom I now understand is resting in peace. We understand that when the mission commander called for arms to be laid down, a few of the ADF members laid down their arms, but their own brother ordered for fire to be opened by the ADF forces onto his own brothers, members of the Bui warriors. So a battle ensued. We understand there have been some casualties, and may their souls rest in peace. When they confronted the gang.
This is now someone who acted as the chairman for a state, who acted as a president of a state, as a governor for the state. And you have your citizen. Something has arrived between your own children, between your own citizens, where you have the mantle, or the mantra, the leadership to act as a savior or to act as a demon. And then you choose exactly to act as a demon. You said that they opened fire, but it took another hours, almost 2 days, before we saw when they were killed. Some of these guys were buried alive. Their testimonies, open testimonies, even from the Bui warriors fighters who left and went to Nigeria, Ghana, and some even in La Republic today. We have audios that have leaked out. We have videos that leaked out when they were going to kill them. They were bundled already with their hands tied down. But you make it seem as if they were shot in blood, in battle, in bullet exchange. But that is not the reality. That's not the truth. For Nginyam that you say was killed, we saw they tied him and took him in a bike, in a motorcycle. Ferried him to where they killed him. We are aware of all these things. Today, where is Shaja that you fool our own brother Shaja to kill his own brothers? Those who were securing maybe the life of Shaja, when the enemy was coming maybe to fight Shaja, the enemy will meet some of these his brothers on the way. And finally, before reaching out to Shaja already know, and he took cover, and so the enemy will not kill him. But then you have forgotten that sometimes there is what they call indirect synergy. When the enemy is coming to kill one of them, and then some of them give backup, it defeats the enemy. And then when they wiped out everyone in Bui, the 36 of them that have been killed, how do you think the enemy will not try to act as the enemy did over the past 2 years? But Amazonian people, you know the enemy was able to do all the mayhem that they did because 39 out of the 39 that were killed, 36 of the majority are commanders and generals that were wiped out from Amazonia Great State. That gave Cameroon a power and to make us if they can win Amazonian people. But you know that's not true. You know that's not true. You know La Republic doesn't have the ability to win Amazonian people in their land. It only took a while for Amazonian people to fight, restore their hopes back, restore their faith. But today you can see La Republic is bleeding. I want to thank the Mandelas for the wonderful take. You did the greatest thing. You bind them together and educated them. I want to thank everyone, all the forces that listen to me. I am a humanitarian. I am your humanitarian. I cannot allow anyone to come and stand on your head. Everyone have the right to fight. Stand in your own areas to fight. Defend your blocks. There's nothing like a tribalism. You have to feel free to move all across Amazonia. You can now see when we shout the idea of county where you can only fight in your tribe. You can now see a General Nopiti fighting in Ngokitunja and coming to Bui, fighting in Bui, going to Lassen. And when he fight there and they are coming, he go to Donga, he hide. He go to Batibo, he hide. He seek refuge in other states where they know he is not available. But then imagine if a General Nopiti have to remain only in Ngokitunja, a small state like this. Where will he hide from the enemy? But because we give him freedom to pass, when General Nopiti pass in Bui, we are everywhere, we see him. We guide him and protect him and give them freedom to pass. He's not an ADF fighter, but we give him freedom because we recognize him as the sister forces, as one of the brave soldiers of Amba land. He might not in any way agree with us, with our strategy, but he has shown La Republic that La Republic is nothing else. But last time I checked, when I give General Nopiti advice, it was when this guy who just spoke and Sako gave him advice to come and destroy the ADF. I told him, my brother, look, we are not enemies. They want to kill you. Be careful. Look at Mano Tiger. Look at Shaja. These are your brothers. They have gone. They wanted to kill General Arke. They killed General Ivomba. They used the life of General Amigo. I said, General, no pity. The Amazonian people cannot afford to lose you. Fight on the La Republic. General No Pity had a way to do his politics and mingle around and leave these people. Fellow brothers and sisters, fellow brethren, Amazonian people, I want to call all of you people to empower yours on the ground. Do not empower any Oyobo person. Don't empower Oyobo countries. Switzerland has failed you. No independence will come from the court. They say independence will come from the court like Georgia and took your money that would have bought a lot of guns and bullets and AKs to defend homeland. They took the money and gave to Folihawkers. But this organization has not even sent a letter of any letter of solidarity to Ayuk Seseko Tabi in jail. When they came to defend Seseko Ayuk Tabi, these Folihawkers did not even near to Africa. Did not even send any representative to defend Ayuk Seseko Tabi, their client. They failed. The same entire interim government they represented. None of the Folihawkers lawyers came to defend. But this is a Folihawkers that lied to you, Amazonian people, that they gave independence to a country. Folihawkers proved that they could even stand and fight in the International Court of Justice. These are people who could not even go to Cameroon to defend your leaders. You see, all of this is scamming. They scammed us, took our money, and never deliver anything. Then comes Switzerland. All the money that was given to Switzerland to defend us, what happened to Switzerland cheese? You can now agree with us that that is the act of pigmanism. That is lies, deceit, and conspiracies. Just to take money from us. Just as my trip to Buya is gone, so too is draft, is dark, is whatever they call it. Dr. Cho Ayaba is not my friend. I am one of the people who fought Dr. Cho Ayaba. I was a big federalist in the revolution, you know that. I disagree with independence everywhere. When they kill our people on the 2nd of September 2017. When they massacre our people on the 1st of October 2017. What had profit a man to gain the whole world and not his own soul? That is when I say objectivism and submission is a need at that time. Dr. Cho Ayaba has said self-defense, that bear does not blink. That bear will kill till the last man standing if we do not stand in our barricades of guns to battle La Republic in trenches and send them to the gates of hell. That was when I saw the need for Dr. Cho Ayaba. I buried one of my family members without the head. I buried my brother without the head. My uncle was one of the first people to have been shot in Kikaikelaki. He was just a taxi driver. He was the pillar of the family. He was removed from his clando, from his car, and shot and thrown into the bushes and forests of Jakiri. If you have not lost any family member, you will not know what is submission. You will not know what is humility. You will not know what is solidarity. You will not know what is to stand together, shoulder by shoulder, to defeat the enemy, despite our differences. I want to thank and congratulate Ground Zero for a wonderful push towards the final journey. Ground Zero, indeed, thank you. We are forever grateful for you. We have said empower Ground Zero. It's only Ground Zero. Whether it is the United Nations, the United States of America, the United UK, the European Union, the African Union, the World Health, whether it is whatever organization, they are going to come and talk with our people on the grounds. Whatever people say abroad, if Ground Zero say no, it is no. Whatever Ground Zero decide is what hold. We said empower Ground Zero and not diaspora. Diaspora is a tool to support Ground Zero to succeed. Then bunch of power mongers abroad. Monkey the walk baboon sit abroad, you want control. We say never again shall that happen. That monkey walk baboon chop. That those people are dying on the bushes, secure homeland, and then some people sit abroad in the bosom of their aces, say they want to come and control to be presidents. If it is to be a president, it is those that are in refugee camps. If it is to be a president, it's those that are in prison. If it is to be a president, it is those that are IDP, internally displaced, those in bushes, the voices in the bushes. Those are the people to stand. And those are the people, the Mandelas, we could support. That we will stand to fight, and General Arke put his candidacy to be a president for Ambazonia, and then we shall go and vote a General Verla who stand in America and talk on the online. Then how shall La Republic not take back our independence? That we shall walk like this and go tomorrow and a General No Pity put his candidacy for a president and we stand and vote a Capo Daniel abroad. How will La Republic not take over our independence back? That we fight like this and reach and a General Efang, General Big Number put his candidacy for a president of Amazonia, and then people will stand and vote. Maybe a Lucas Ashu who will stand abroad. How will La Republic and France not take over our countries like they took over from Cameroon? These are things that the Mandela family want us to think about as we are moving towards the final journey. These are common rationality we want to let our people know. We are not fighting because we are living under the bridge abroad. We are not fighting because we are not settled abroad. We are not fighting because we are poor and broke overseas. We want the common man in Ambazonia land, those in the bushes, the voices in the bushes, to have the freedom they are fighting for and enjoy that freedom they are fighting for. And that is what the Mandela family is all about. It's all about supporting sister forces so they can synergize and collaborate among themselves to see the final journey. To shut diaspora manipulation and stop all the people causing the harm and all in-house division among Ambazonian people. The AGOVC would have gone in two parts, just as the government in Maryland and another one in UK. The Mandela step in and help and protect the AGOVC to remain together intact. Protect the ADF to remain together intact at the time when people were trying to break away from ADF to form other fighters in Ground Zero to form a faction. Something that looked like the governing council. The Mandela step ahead and say, look, we have seen how women have acted. These gentlemen and guys have used women to cause division, cause a government in UK and cause another one in Maryland. That a woman will step inside the governing council and try to create two governing council. That will not work. Without the intervention of Mandela's, we would have had chaos. Mandela's came together to say they are not power mongering. They have come to defend, protect, and secure the people's aspiration without power mongering. Mandela's came together to say, look, people have suffered. What profit a man to gain the whole world and not his own soul? We are bound to make our people understand they are one, that the enemy has failed to divide us. Today we have meaningful collaboration on the grounds. Today you don't hear that somebody has gone to fight ADF. Somebody has come to kill ADF again. Because of the support and the synergy, collective security and balance of power. I have said to Ambazonian people, we learn to build alliances. The First World War and Second World War, those who triumph are those who build alliances. The Peloponnesian Wars, the Cold War, those who survive are those who build alliances. Today in the United Nations Security Council, we have heard about the veto powers. And those are people that have built alliances. You've heard about the British, France, and American collaborations. That is their international diplomacy. Foreign affairs. They synergize with each and every other so that they can enjoy power, collective security, enjoy trade among themselves, so they can be international economic gurus. And that's exactly what we are building in Amba. Charity begins at home indeed. We're bound to collaborate and synergize each and everyone to shut down those who have caused a lot of division among us, to tell our forces on the ground, when you stand together to have meaningful collaboration and meaningful unity among yourselves, the enemy will bleed. And so too we have seen that. We want to give an applause to Dr. Cho Ayaba for not joining those who wanted civil war among our people, to continuously beg and plead on ADF soldiers as they have their international self-determination, their international human right, where they can even push back, they can fight if they want. We want to thank the AGOC for continuously thanking them and maneuvering them that, look, you cannot do what the enemy wants you to do. And so too, we want to thank the ADF forces for continuously showing strength, that standing and not fighting the people that are manipulated is not a sign of weakness, but a sign of strength. We want to thank the Ambazonian War Council. We want to thank the chairman, Benedict Kwa, and his deputy chief, Che Kali, and the DDC Capo Daniel. The wonderful work that he's doing at the Czar of Ambazonia to end kidnapping. Look, about 2 weeks ago, I told you, Ambazonian, that you will see what you will see. Cameroon has been defeated. My confidentiality was because of a lot of material that went out from the armory. The creation of the armory indeed is causing bloodshed for Cameroon. I saw a lot of powder that left the armory. I saw how sister forces were supplied with meaningful material. If you are just common sense, you will know that the enemy will bleed because you know what they do with those materials. We want to thank the creation of the armory. The creation of the armories indeed in bunkers and wherever they are, it is causing the enemy to bleed. Gone are the days when Cameroon will go to the borders and synergize with Nigeria to apprehend materials for our people. Indeed, we are no more interested in buying anything from the neighboring countries. With the creation of the wonderful holy powder, the wonderful holy dust, it is now causing the ammo vehicles to shatter, and when it shatter, the Amba soldiers harvest very quietly and peacefully. There are a lot of harvest. This is the harvesting season. It is not yet up to August and July where we used to harvest, but we are already harvesting. We want to thank God, the Father, the creator of heaven and earth, for the wonderful harvesting season. Indeed, there is more harvest. More harvest, even though the planters are few, but the harvest and the harvesters are great. Indeed, the Bible have come to fulfill the journey of liberation. Just over 10 days, Cameroon is giving the statistics out. We are no more counting because we are tired. The number of count is seen from the number of cries in the enemy's camp. This did not happen for free, because some people toughed and put hands in their pocket to make sure that the armory have something in order to produce. You don't produce with your bare hands. You produce with materials, with the support of those of you who tough every month. The tough does not come in millions and thousands of dollars, but because the production is being done in the hands of your valiants on the grounds. We have eliminated cost. More than 80% of the cost has been eliminated. In other words, what we used to buy for 120,000, we now buy the materials and produce 4 times what we used to buy for 120,000. That means that the money we used to go and buy one thing for 120,000, we use that now to produce materials worth 480,000 material. Now we take 120,000 and we produce materials that we used to buy for 480,000, which means that what we used to buy, one tin of holy powder, holy dust that is being used to destroy all those useless cars that the enemy come inside. We now use that material to produce what can this as much as possible. What was being bought for 120,000 now is being purchased for 40,000 in one way or the other. And what was being bought for 120,000 today, we can produce up to 480,000 and give it to sister forces at a price that is less than 20,000. Sister forces don't have to go to Nigeria again. How the enemy is going to synergize with Nigeria. From the last time the minister of Cameroon went to Nigeria, we already laughed. We say, gone are the days we go to buy from there. We are now harvesting from the enemies themselves. Is it not our taxpayers' money? Of course, indeed, it's our taxpayers' money. We have the right to our taxpayers' money. Disarm them and keep the resources to secure, protect, and defend our homeland. Mandela's, thank you so much for the wonderful opening of eyes of Amazonia people. It took me a sacrifice of almost losing my life in Nigeria when some people wanted to kill me. The enemy was not fit to kill me. The enemy only want to use some people who were called my brothers, whom I was sharing meetings with. We count worldwide. Chairman Louis Tas and Deputy Defense Chairman of SACO, Elvis Verkijika. These are people I chaired meetings with every day, chairing meetings for peace to come to the great state of Bui. But behind the scene, they have been paid to kill me. And I knew, I was aware. Thanks to the blessing of God. Thanks to everyone who supported me. Thanks to brethren who received a contract of eliminating me, and they let me know that that's what those people I was sharing meetings with, and they are talking with me with sweet voice, good voice, that they want to have peace in Bui, but they are those who want to pay for my obituary. They wrote my obituary. On a certain Saturday's evening, they were celebrating my death in Douala already. They were celebrating Yaoundé that I was going to die. Njoka, Odette, and Shea Willie and Kenneth Olike, we are celebrating. These are CPDM people. How come we are fighting, but CPDM people are the ones celebrating my death? What is the connection between the CPDM people and the Bui County worldwide? And I know wonderful, innocent people that were in Bui County worldwide that resigned. Mark Barretta. You are people like Yerima Davni. You are people like Fai. You are people like Mama Ambazonia. These are wonderful people. People that resign. You are a woman of God that I know. One woman of God also in Europe that resigned. Those are wonderful people I know who came when they discovered that these people actually took money from them and didn't use the money to buy material, but to destroy and kill a ADF and kill their brother Verla. They decided to leave that organization. I want to thank them. You did great. Not only for me, because they are going to kill other people. I have the mantra to know when they are going to destroy me. But maybe other people don't know. Your continued support to them means killing your own brothers and sisters. From the time the Bui County worldwide lose those support, look at how peace returned to Bui. You have not gotten one day up and you woke up from your bed and discovered that Vitaya has been killed. A Shafe, a madman has been killed. A Tamfomi has been killed. A Pajoro has been killed. An Imam has been killed. A Tamwirong has been killed. That a family, a couple have been shot in Vekovi. Those things you cannot hear again from your land. Talk less of numerous fight, attack of sister forces that refuse to come under them. Look at how Sofoncha was staged when they took over AAC from Sofoncha and Yingfu Sango. Sofoncha did not know. Arrogantly, he went fighting to Tocho Ayaba, but he didn't know that together as one, with the intelligence, we can fight and stand and watch each other's back and be brother's keeper. But he didn't know that these people were power mongers and wanted to take power from him. Look at Sofoncha today being an enabler, talking about some confederate, whatever that we don't even know exists in the history of Africa. Look at what happened to the interim government. They took over the interim government from Seseko and even jailed Seseko for life. Took over this, they make Cameroon to kidnap Seseko, impeach Seseko, pray for Seseko's life imprisonment, collaborate with La Republique, and even wrote a letter to La Republique that Seseko is no more a leader. Who will write a letter to the enemy in a struggle? Even if you are doing the right thing, who write letters to the enemy soliciting for something? You have the goal to write letter to the United Nations and America that Seseko is no more a leader, but you can't write letters to this organization that Cameroon is no more in Amba land. Who are these people? Who are they? They took over. They called for Maurice to come closer to them. Maurice came close to them and they destroyed Maurice. Bo Hubbard, you know the reality. They destroyed Maurice. They called the Southern Cameroon National Congress, SCNC. SCNC, Southern Cameroon National Congress, where Avis Komita was the chairman for long, how many years? For more than 40 years. Southern Cameroon National Congress, SCNC, had been existing. But just these people call the SCNC like this and they destroy the SCNC. Where is it today? Where are other organizations? Even at the time of Skakuf, Dr. Ebenezer Akwanga refused to take Sokadev there. The same foundation, Dr. Ebenezer Akwanga lastly took Sokadev to these people. Where is Sokadev today? Where is Southern Cameroon Youth League? Where is Dr. Ebenezer Akwanga today? Fellow Ambazonian, this is not critics. This is opening eyes. Take your eye to Christmas. If we do not understand the reality that Cameroon is not sleeping, if Dr. Cho Ayaba had taken the egg of the ADF under these people, that would have been the end. And this would have been the end of the struggle. The Mandelas come to tell Dr. Cho Ayaba, don't do that. We know, we have uncovered, we have seen everything. It's not everything I can say here in media. It's not everything I can come here and say, because when I say the enemy, we know now from what angle we do things, we know things. We can't just say everything out. Just like the independence for Ambazonia. Veritas, you killed Bishop Emeritus Cardinal Crescentumi. Sister Rita knows the reality. What the United Nations know about Ambazonia. The billions of money that was given to the state during independence. The Ambazonian billions of money are still in the United Nations. We are aware of these funds. These are funds that are given to any country that have independence. These funds were not handed to Cameroon. When the United Nations discovered that Cameroon Paul Biya has wiped the federation, the United Nations decided to hold into those funds. I don't want to quote the figure. It's billions of money. This money is given to any country that have independence. The Ambazonians' independence funds are still stuck and kept intact in the United Nations. We are aware of this. You can kill Cardinal Crescentumi. Sister Rita knows the reality. And even if you kill Sister Rita, the Veritas, the Vatican know the reality. The Vatican knows the reality. The Vatican Human Rights Commission know the reality. You know the reality about the billions of money kept for Southern Cameroon. What happened, the scandal that they impacted and inflicted into the UK former Secretary, United Nations Secretary General, Tony Blair. How Tony Blair lost power. What scandal? Tony Blair was set up. When Tony Blair was moving with the Veritas, with the Catholic Church Humanitarian Commission, Human Rights Commission, in order to commission the money and unleash the money for Southern Cameroon, to make sure Southern Cameroon become a state so that money can be given to Southern Cameroon. What did France do? France and Cameroon worked behind the scene to inflict a scandal to Tony Blair. The British man Tony Blair was innocent. It was France that worked so hard behind the scene to set up Tony Blair. Indeed, Tony Blair was led to resignation as the United Nations Secretary General. These are facts. Sister Rita, Dominic, Sister Rita, you are aware of this? Cardinal Crescentumi has been killed. He knew all these things. Veritas and the Vatican know all these things I'm saying. These are facts. You can't cheat facts. Even you kill me, people know this. You are hearing from me today. Please, keep this. Keep it in your head. The Mandela family with the eagle eyes, we know what we are doing. We know where we are going to. We can only beg you, Ambazonian people. This is a just cause. God is with us. Do not look at the Catholic Church with an evil eye. They are also suffering like us. But they know the reality. Before the Catholic Church was being fought by Cameroon, they brought realities. How many people are fought by the military, killed by the military? The Catholic Church wrote letters upon letters to Paul Biya. Paul Biya went to Vatican. And Vatican told Paul Biya to come and negotiate with the bishop, because bishops are the administrators of the church wherever they are. The peace plan was given to Biya, and Biya trashed it in Vatican. Biya thought the Vatican was going to apprehend dismiss the bishops and so on. Bishops wrote letters upon letters to Paul Biya, to Biya's regime. Do not think that the bishops are part of the regime. They are also victims of Biya's mayhem and hegemony. I want us to not invite many multiple enemies. Show love to the church. The church will stand with us. Our people are Christians. Our people pray in one way or the other. The bishop will die and leave the church, but the church will remain with the people. Some bishops might be corrupted, but not the church. We have fake pastors today, but not God. Fake pastors are fake pastors, and fake pastors will always be. But the history and the ideology of Christianity will continue to be there. Fake pastors will remain, but God is there. Let us not confuse fake pastors for the church. Let us not confuse these people who extort money from poor people for the good people of the Lord. The church is not our enemy. Our enemy are fake people who took the image of God and put in front of them in order to extort money from the people and make themselves fatly rich. Let us avoid those people. We are avoiding only those people, those evil people. Fellow brothers and sisters, I call you to awake from your slumber. Mandelas, thank you. You have done great. You brought a lot of synergy in this struggle. You brought our people together. You make them feel that they are one. You make La Republic to bleed by making sister forces to believe in one another. Now that there's clarity, you can now see even in the great state of Bui, the ADF can now fight. How many La Republic has been sent to Tasatan by the ADF just in the last 10 days? Look at Bamenda. You can see when they kill the commanders from Mimi and the rest, the Agaba and the rest, La Republic thought they have won something. When they kill General Ivan Ba, La Republic thought they have destroyed the struggle. Mandela, thank you for making sister forces to believe they are one. Today you see how the enemy is bleeding. All of you abroad now, you can support Ground Zero now without fear. And I know some of you, when you want to support, you are afraid that they are going to kill one another with the money. And now you can support now because now you know Amazonia forces now know that we are on our own. They are on their own. They will not remain in the bushes forever. They want to fight so their parents can come from the refugee camps, from other countries they are suffering, so that those in exile can come back home and those in the prison can be liberated. There is only one thing to do. Stand with one another. Fight for one another. Believe in one another. Do not fight to kill your own brothers and sisters. The enemy has lied to you for long. The enemy wanted us to have civil war, tribal war, so that the enemy can say, oh, these are tribes fighting against one another. I give an applaud to Dr. Chua because he shamed that. The ADF had all it takes to start fighting among each other. Some of us who are leading blocks, we said, no, we can do that. They have killed more than 36 from my hand in Bui. I had all it takes to take some millions and say, look, you know what? Go and retaliate. But I still say, God, please, Lord, help us. Help us, oh Lord. Help us, oh Lord. And God show us the way to go. Because we are fighting for a common law jurisdiction. And when common law jurisdiction comes, all the people who soil their hands with injustice, they shall face the judiciary system that we are fighting for. There will be, no one will be left. No stone will be left unturned. For anyone that commit a crime, we shall make sure that justice is served. And to all those families that have lost their loved ones into in-house fight, there's coming for justice. Not only from La Republic, but any person that died in Amba land, justice will be served. For each and every blood that oozes out, whether you are still alive today, the scars and the wounds you have, whether you lost your finger, or you lost your leg or your arm, whether you lost whatever, even a hair from your body, justice will be served. That is why we are all fighting for a common law jurisdiction. Fellow brothers and sisters, what more can I tell you? Support your struggle, nourish your struggle, defend the blocks, secure, protect, and defend remain the ultimate goal of the Mandela families. The Mandela family with the eagle eyes, the Central Committee, is going to meet in days ahead to see how we can have a befitting, wonderful representation of our day, the independence, 1st of October 2021. The Mandelas continue to support sister forces, bringing them closer and closer for a meaningful collaboration and meaningful unity. The Mandela family vowed not to relent. They would not stop until Amazonia is free. The goal is to stop in-house fights, make them feel that they belong, show them some love, show them recognition, show them that they are fighting but we recognize they exist. You cannot allow yours fighting in one area because they don't have anyone abroad. They are defending a homeland, defending a block there. If they are standing in one block and defending it because the gun leader say, defend your block, be the owner of your block, take control and defend your people. How can we then allow those who are defending their blocks and are not recognized by diaspora? Then it becomes the sole responsibilities of the Mandela family to reach out to those areas where they have no support. And also make them know, let the enemy not support or sponsor them to fight and kill theirs because they want to harvest material. We thank the bravery of General Nopiti. You told Amazonians that once again, you don't need materials from diaspora. That once again, if you know your game, you can always harvest. Because that is your taxpayers' money, by the way. That money is from your resources. And he continued to harvest as he promised. He said he will no more buy. He will harvest, and he's harvesting like General Ivan Ba was doing. We want to thank such bravery. We want to commence and thank everyone to have tactics. Continue to be very safe. Don't come and just expose yourself in media like that. Be safe. No around you. Don't trust anyone. Trust only yourself and your material that you have in your hands. The days you don't have, take cover. The days you have, go and fight. And whenever you see the heat is going too much, refrain and strategize. Because it's only strategies that's going to set us free. It is tactics, the roadmap that we have now that all of us believe. Even those who didn't believe in independence from self-defense. Now they are fighting self because your leaders are not there. Fellow brothers and sisters, as much as we fight, Konengi is not our enemy. Leaders in jail are not our enemy. They are paying the price. There are images and pictures and things leaking out that Free Stakang has been compromised by the enemy. As much as I don't like fighting prisoners, I have only cautioned Ambazonians to deal with with Pastor Fritz Takang. Deal with him carefully. Be cautious. Be cautious about it. When the enemy frees somebody, you know the enemy does not free somebody like that. It's a quid pro quo. There are some kind of evidential things which we have not in one way or the other fact-checked them. But it is said that Free Stakang is giving a lot of intelligence to the enemy. The Eagle Eyes want to say this as a caution. That if you deal with Free Stakang, please be cautious. Because the enemy apprehend him and freed him. Why would the enemy not free why would the enemy not free Mancho BBC, who even wrote a letter to the enemy? Why would the enemy not free Benjis? Why would the enemy not free Senator Penteres? Why would the enemy not free Tassan Wilfred? Why would the enemy not free Ayuk Seseku Tabi, Parisa Amba Shufai Bless? Why would the enemy free Pastor Taka? Now, there is some kind of information reaching out that some of the forces are being apprehended because the intelligence that Free Stakang gave them. And also, some of the people in Konengi, some guys have been jailed for 20 years in Konengi, for 15 years, because the information was leaked out to the enemy by Free Stakang when he went to Konengi. That was an agenda between the Southwest Governor Okaida, that Governor Okaida, and one of the people, Oyolo and the rest. These are things that we are still fact-checking behind the scene, but it's good to caution. If Pastor Free Stakang is innocent, God will vindicate him. But we have asked each and every Amazonian people to treat with him cautiously. If not, why? He is still in Yaoundé. He lives in Yaoundé most of the time. He went to Europe, Italy just for a month and came back to Cameroon. Something is fishy. And we have to say this with eagle eyes. Just as we caution people who treat with Dr. Success. When Dr. Success took money, $10,000 from ADF and didn't supply, we started telling people to be cautious about him. You know the colors of Dr. Success today. Nambere, when they came and disarmed the ADF and caused the Gusang fight. The Gusang fight was because Nambere disarmed the ADF and big number. You know that. Sent by Sako. We told you to treat with Nambere at your own risk. Today, Nambere showcased his face. Now, if you really heard what happened in Gusang, if you were really fighting against Dr. Cho Ayaba, you saw what happened in Gusang. Those guys that fought in Gusang and lost their lives, those were guys working with Nambere. Those guys, regardless, I know the act of them losing their life is not what we have to thank, but know that they were part of Nambere. And that as Nambere is alive today, some of you wish that Nambere would have been taken out of the game. But now you know that those who lost their life in Gusang were Nambere's team. Those are the ones that Nambere was moving with, disarming ADF. And if you don't like the activities of Nambere today, you know those guys, I am not justifying what happened in Gusang. No, I will never justify it. But you know the cause was Nambere when they came and disarmed those guys. And you know that if those guys were left, multiple DDR centers could have been available today. There would have been a DDR center in Bui, one in Kambe, one in Donga Mantum, one in Ndian, one in Momo, in everywhere. Because those guys that lost their life in Gusang were part of Nambere's team. But no one wants to look at things from this direction. I'm not asking you to look at things from that direction either. But this is the mindset of the eagle eyes. That if we hate the activities of Nambere today, imagine if there were 2 Namberes, if there were 3 Namberes, if there were 5 Namberes, or there were 10 Namberes, how could we have gone? They might have never revealed their identity. Maybe because Nambere was now lonely by himself, he had no choice than to reveal his identity. If Dr. Success Good was still moving in other groups, he would have still been mingling around us and would not reveal his own identity. If Nsofoncha did not lose support from Sako as he was, Nsofoncha and if his group was not kidnapped by Sako from him, Nsofoncha will have not revealed his identity. And so too the people who deal with the people who deal with Nsofoncha, the people who deal with Nambere. Who are these people? Those who say, give me my trip to Buya, and if I don't free Ambazonia in 12 months, give me the vote of no confidence. Are you still trusting these people that deal with Nsofoncha? You still trust the people that send big Nambere to disarm the ADF? Do you still trust the people that create those soldiers that went to DDR center? I want to just open your eyes so you think. We don't hate anyone. We're tired of anything that has to deal with hate. It's just objectivism. Because we are tired of having blacklegs. We're tired of seeing blacklegs leading from other groups in this struggle. You're bound to caution and question that leadership that create blacklegs, cause in-house fights. When the time Nambere started going to La Republic, we started seeing clarity. From the time those guys withdraw and went to DDR Center, you saw how Ground Zero strategize himself. It means that those guys that are in DDR Center, we are the one causing trouble. But who were these guys fighting for? Nambere and the rest, who were they fighting for? When these Namberes and the rest were still on the ground, you saw a lot of in-house fight that these guys were killing among themselves. But then when these guys have been repelled, see how we are able to bring Ground Zero together today than ever before. When Shaja was still alive, we love Shaja. Shaja was used to cause in-house fight to kill his own brothers. When General Amigo was alive, they wanted to use him to kill General Arke. Never a day have you seen General Arke fighting sister forces. They use all their, look at Free Marshal. When Free Marshal and the Red Dragons were still the Red Dragons, when Tapang Ivo was still talking about the Dragons, there were more than 2,000 forces in Red Dragons. They started using Field Marshal to warn Dr. Chuayaba, warn Tapang Ivo, warn the ADF, kill General Iwamba. Look at how the Red Dragons lost. General Ayeke was a great fighter when they were together. Look at how General Ayeke lost his life. And all these things were because of in-house fighting that General Ayeke decided to go his own way and lost maybe some kind of security, some kind of synergy. But from the time we start to think together, from the time we start to talk with one another, synergize and create meaningful collaboration and meaningful dialogue among ourselves, meaningful negotiation among ourselves, meaningful unity among ourselves, we are going to protect the lives of our valiant soldiers. And so too we shall win, bigly and fatly. And that is the sole responsibilities of Mandela family in this struggle. In weeks ahead, in days ahead, Mandela family shall be coming together, the Central Committee, to deliberate and see the next way forward. How we are going to continue to foster collaboration, to foster spiritual collaboration, economic collaboration, geographical collaboration, the biome collaboration, tactical collaboration, strategic collaboration, financial collaboration, systematic collaboration, amicable collaboration. Those are aspects we are going to look upon. And we believe these things are going to work when good people of Ambazonia stand together and support the Mandela family spirit. Because it's a quid pro quo. We have to give something to them in order for them to listen to this. We have to sacrifice breakfast, lunch, dinner, sacrifice shopping, flying, vacations, sacrifice hard-earned resources in order to reach out to them to say, brother, take this one. You like him. I beg, no fight your brother. You are brothers. Please, fight under the enemy. Diaspora has lied a lot. We have come to you to tell you ADF will have nothing to retaliate. ADF does not retaliate. Don't be afraid that ADF will retaliate. Lower your tension. We have reached out and we have broken a deal with ADF. The only thing we want to tell you, do not go to fight ADF now, because if you go with a deal we have broken with ADF is, if you come to fight ADF now, you will be neutralized, you will be wiped out. But if you do not go to fight ADF, you are good, because ADF does not retaliate. But do not dare try to go closer to ADF, because you are finished. Your name is dead. Your name na die. But if you do not attack ADF, you are good. When ADF see you, ADF is going to salute you. Sister forces you can see today. Some of you who thought that because you have fought ADF in the past, ADF is going to kill you. When ADF see you now, what they do? They salute you and tell you and thank you for defending homeland. Because we went and talked. We broke a peace. We broke a deal with them. And they will not retaliate for whatever has happened, because the Supreme Court of Ambazonia will seek justice using the common law jurisdiction we are fighting for. And that's exactly what we have told all of you people that have grudges with ADF. ADF has no intention to retaliate to you. But do not dare try to come and fight ADF again. You will be erased. But do not go there. Don't fight them. They will not come to retaliate with you. I bet, and I want to make it clear. Just continue to be on your lane and fight and synergize. If you don't like ADF, just be on your own way, because ADF would not even, they don't even want to know what you are doing. They want to just, when they hear that you have destroyed the Amoka and La Republic, ADF always the first to clap hands. ADF has clapped hands for General No Pity when people are like, is General No Pity an ADF fighter? People have refused that. People have forgotten that ADF is objective people. We don't create enmities. We thank each and everyone that worked so hard to free motherland. We are bound to thank sister forces. When a sister force do what is right, we thank and appreciate them. So the day they do what is wrong, we shall criticize and tell them, brother, this is not right. And that's why Mandela family continue to have reputation. Because Mandela family is the only family that will come and tell you, thank you for the great job you have done. This is for you. Thank you so much. So when you do wrong one day, Mandela family will come and tell you, brother, but this one is wrong. Wrong is wrong. Good is good. Bad is bad. Great is great. We continue to stand with objective principles. The Mandela family was built with balance, collective security, objectivism, a lot of hard work, determination, a lot of consistency to secure, protect, and defend the people's aspiration and the leadership that be. If there was any leadership in this struggle that matched Dr. Cho Ayaba, we would have endorsed it without discrediting Dr. Cho Ayaba. When we continue to say it's because at this time we still see Dr. Cho Ayaba as the only leader that is doing what can liberate homeland. He's not a saint. We don't say we need a saint to liberate us. Everyone that is a freedom leader, liberation leader, need to go insane at one point. If you don't go insane, the enemy does not understand. And that is what we wanted. And Dr. Cho Ayaba is the only leader that has proven that tenacity. You talk about self-defense today. Can you reflect one more second? Can you think for a second? That now you are happy when you see Amoka or La Republique going down, see La Republique coffin going down, see La Republique crying. You are celebrating. But aren't we not people who retarded this self-defense from coming? Are you not one of the people that supported those who did not like self-defense? You only support self-defense now because you lost your leaders, because La Republique captured your leaders, or because they destroy your brother, destroy your sister, your family. But when some people were talking was because back in years, in decades of years, Cameroon have shown a lot of mayhem to our people. You slaughtered self-defense at the time when you denied it. You make self-defense to be difficult at the time when you went supporting those who killed General Amba. Some people who rejected self-defense because Dr. Cho Ayaba was a leader. And they will want Dr. Cho Ayaba to, they want to endorse self-defense only if Dr. Cho Ayaba is a minister of defense under them. Those people who wanted Dr. Cho Ayaba to be a minister under them cannot even secure themselves. How could Dr. Cho Ayaba not even listen to this? How could he listen to these people? People who cannot secure themselves. How do you expect someone who understands about security to be under you when you don't even know how to secure yourself? Dr. Cho Ayaba did not tell them to come under him, by the way. Dr. Cho Ayaba did not say all leaders must come under ADF, by the way. He went to first conclave, second conclave, third conclave, and even during the formation of the interim government in Zaria, Dr. Cho Ayaba was there present. You see, the former speaker of SCACUF revealed that Dr. Cho Ayaba was even sidelined from the meeting during the formation of the government because they didn't want him to have any position. Because they know people will believe in him more because he's very eloquent. This is the former spokesman of SCACUF, Mr. Larry, saying this. These are truth. These are people who were among the system. Eric Tato is speaking today. Eric Tato is bringing out things today and saying leaking things. Leaking. What are you leaking when you were there when those things were said? I don't like hypocrisy. Things that were done in your hands when you were the journalist, you were the basket holder. When you bring those things today, you see tell that it's leaked. And the gullible followers will still believe. Eric Tato now goes to fight against Sakoda. He was the one who was raising it. And the gullible followers will still go and clap hands. Eric Tato is doing the right thing. You are the problem. If Eric Tato make a mistake and you stand like we do, when Tapang Ivo make a mistake, you see us, I stand and I told him directly. When Lucas Ashu supported the creation of the SCBC, the revitalization of SCBC by Dr. Cho Ayaba, I told Lucas Ashu in media that this is wrong. When Capo Daniel said something that was not right, I came and told Capo Daniel, this is wrong. When Tapang Ivo, me and Tapang Ivo had a week of no rest among ourselves, because with the eagle eyes and Mandela's, we say it as it is. When Dr. Cho Ayaba says something that's not right, people of AGOVC can tell you. We speak to our leader like this and tell the leader this one is not correct, and we do not blink. Because the leader himself does not also blink. He taught us not to blink. Meaning that if he do something wrong, we will not blink to him. I want you Amazonian people to understand this. You don't join with leaders because you love them. You want objectivism so we can be freed. You lost your loved one. I buried my loved one without their hits. I've lost more than 9 family members. I know so too you have done that. And that's why we have to stand shoulder by shoulder. Rooftop by rooftop, neighborhood by neighborhood, block by block. That a general no pity will fight in Ngoketunja and seek refuge in Bui. That he will leave in Ngoketunja, his own block, and go and fight in Lassen in Bui. And the ADF will not kill him because he has come to ADF land. Because we want ADF also to go to Ngoketunja and fight. Or fight in Bui and go and seek refuge in Ngoketunja. That is why we say county by county was so evil. And when Eric Tato has supported Sako and discovered that that was evil, he created a demon in the struggle. He tried to work with the FBI to apprehend Sako, and so that's not the way America works. Then Eric Tato want to make his corrections by trying to form a national army, which is not a bad thing, by the way. But the problem is you are fighting the national army by saying that ADF is not the national army. That's why you are creating a national army. Must you create a national army by fighting the ADF? If everyone believes that Ferrari is a good car, which is okay, I believe also that Ferrari is a good car. Why will you destroy a Toyota Corolla because you now believe Ferrari is a good car when you don't even able to have a tire? You just have in your mind you will buy a Ferrari. I want you all to understand this. Please, my fellow brothers and sisters, you do not destroy a Toyota Corolla because you think that you can buy a Ferrari. If you want to destroy a Toyota Corolla, you must buy a Ferrari, test the Ferrari, know how to drive the Ferrari, know how to climb hills with Ferrari. When you want to go to the bush and forest with Ferrari, then you will discover that a Toyota Corolla might have been the best car. Because it can run in bushes, run in valleys, and run even in in the swamps. But then with a Ferrari, you can only run with it in tar road. And so when you want to create a national army by destroying the ADF, that you think that is a Toyota Corolla, you have made a mistake. Because Ferrari cannot run in the bushes and trenches. The ADF, the Corolla can. The ADF, the Land Rover can. These are facts and this is common sense. Anyone have the right to create something in Amazonia, but do not dare create yours by destroying another one. The ANC fell because Nsofoncha Sinejai with Sako in order to destroy the ADF. That's why when they lied to Nsofoncha that Ekema has been killed, they wanted to take power from Nsofoncha. Nsofoncha did not know. But Nsofoncha was only celebrating because he knew that was the end of ADF, because the people will not believe but only in him and the ANC. At the same time, Dr. Cho Ayaba was staged in London. At the same time, Tapang Ivo in the activist forum was staged with fake snipers by Doromiga. I don't know where Doromiga is today, but he was the one who staged Tapang Ivo in the activist forum with fake gun. Tapang Ivo asked him, "Are you sure this gun has arrived?" He said yes, that he has been supplying in Kupe Manenguba. I reached out to those in Kupe Manenguba and they have never received anything from Doromiga. I fact-checked and saw Doromiga was renting those guns in the gun range in South Africa, shooting those guns in South Africa, and then he put in an Amba flag and lied that the guns have been supplied to Ground Zero. I brought the evidence and videos of him shooting the same gun in South Africa in the gun range. That's how I helped Tapang Ivo in the activist forum. And so when I tell my brother Tapang this one was not correct, it's because I have shown to him what is correct too. I stand with him for better and for worst. Meaning that when he's wrong, I will tell him, and when he's right, I will endorse it. That is how we are in ADF. And that's how the Mandela Eagle Eyes function. The Mandela spirit. That's how we work. Right is right. Objectivism. Objective criticism. The principles to secure, protect, and defend the people's aspiration remains our priority. The pains of our people are our pains. Because we want our people to be very, very happy. The pursuit of happiness of our people have no limits. And we shall not stop at any point, at anywhere, without the final pursuit of happiness, the independence for the people of Amazonia. Fellow brothers and sisters, I want to thank you so much for your support. You have done great. Every Wednesday, 5 p.m. Amba time, we shall be in ACN TV, the Interventor Talk Show. So every Wednesday, 5 p.m. Amba time, we shall be at ACN TV for the Interventor Talk Show. We shall do this until, if we don't do it, then we are on the grounds. Then we are on the grounds. The day you don't see that on Wednesday, that the Interventor Talk Show is not taking place, then we are on the grounds. I want to thank all of you people so much who believe in the things I said in the past. I made mistakes like any other human being. I came out and apologized. I used to fight against Dr. Cho Ayaba. I apologized every time. I was a federalist, a big federalist. No one has ever been bigger than me in federation. But I switched. You can kill my people 1st October and 1st and 22nd of September 2017. And you think I'm still going to believe in you? What profit a man to gain the whole world and not his own soul? I changed. I change. I change. And each and every one of us, you have that power to change. God gave you the conscience. From the time I stopped being a puppet and a surrogate, things started happening in a good way. Look, last but not the least, when I look at my success journey, I ask myself, do I take advice from people when I want to succeed? No, I don't. I ask myself, why must I take advice from people when I want to stand with my people? Why would I take advice from people to tell me that supporting Dr. Cho Ayaba is not a right thing? Why? When I already know there's no country on earth without defense. When I know the enemy has used only guns and bullets to subjugate our people to pain. When I knew as a Christian that David had to use a bow and arrow to smack the giant Goliath, and you want Ambazonian not to use the bow and arrow of today, the Manis, the RPGs, and the AK-47 to smack La Republic that comes in the same form, then you must be sick. From the time I stopped being a surrogate, from the time I stopped being running behind other people with that hate, that was the time God said, my son, you need to create the Mandela family. You need to act like someone who understands the suffering of the people. You have been a humanitarian for the people for many years before the war. You understand the pain of the people on the ground. You have been on the ground. You saw what your people are going through. You begged through from the village. You know how it feels to be without shoes, without food to eat, to be sick without money to go to hospital, to be without roots. You came from the village without a root, without hospital, without schools, without anything. You know the pains of your people. Stop being a surrogate. That was when I started saying things, and I can say and repeat whatever I said 2-3 years ago. When I was a puppet, a surrogate behind the consortium leaders, I was supporting what was not going to liberate our people. From the time I stopped being a surrogate without a brain, I cannot tell you that this leader is good, this leader is bad. That the ADF has a good agenda. That if all Ambazonan people support arms, we are going to be freed. Today you are clapping hands now. Why don't you know clap hands from Switzerland? Why don't you know clap hands that a retenue fee has been given to Foley workers to free our people 35,000 instead of using 35,000 to buy materials on the ground? That is exactly the point. People will take my trip from you, and some of us start talking, and they will call us internet trolls, call us Russian-style spies, Paul Biya calling us extremists and terrorists. And somebody stand as a leader, Sako calling us Russian-style spies, calling us internet trolls, because we are saying that we did not contribute money to my trip to be used to kill General Ivo, that we did not give money to Sako to be used to arrest General Arke, and then he will give us name like Paul Biya, and we start telling you that Sako is evil, and some of you did not believe. When we are activists, activists are representatives of the people. How then can we talk about against La Republic, and we are telling you what is abiding and enabling La Republic, and you don't believe? That it would take Eric Tato 2 years to believe that Sako was evil? That it would take Mark Barretta 2 years to believe Sako was evil? Eric Tato said in 2 weeks he can put Sako down. It's easy to raise a Satan. God himself was not able to destroy Satan, but God created Satan. How do you think that you human beings can create Satan and destroy Satan when God himself who created Satan was not able to destroy Satan? I want you all to think objectively. Let us go with nature. The way nature is, that how God created the world. Satan is always there. There's no way to destroy Satan like that. You can only shun away from Satan and keep Satan where it belongs. Ambazonia, you are not fighting to destroy Cameroon. You are fighting to keep Cameroon in Cameroon so you can stay in Amba. That's what we are doing. We have asked Cameroon forces, don't come in Amba. To stay in La Republic, and we will know you don't exist. That's exactly the point. So my fellow brothers and sisters, as we are moving ahead, if I have done something wrong, forgive me. Let us move ahead together. I commit to you that if I've done something wrong, I want to apologize to you that and prove to you that I would make sure that our own forces collaborate. Meaningful collaboration and meaningful unity on the ground. That I will continue to work so hard with Mandela family, the Central Committee of the Mandela, and the Eagle Eyes of the Vanguard to make sure that we bring meaningful collaboration among sister forces on the ground so the enemy can bleed bigly and fatly than ever before. The future is pregnant. In days and weeks ahead, you shall see what you will never see. You will continue to see what you will see. I want to thank you so much. There's a lot coming. You shall be proud. I see light in the tunnel. I see holy liberation. I see big light coming. For every storm must come sunshine. The sunshine is coming bigly and fatly. It's something I can tell you with strong commitment. Oh, with a strong conviction. I can tell you that homeland is freed. That is why the only thing left is called stabilization. You stabilize by making sure that you take over every neighborhood, every roof, every community, and you give it to the community. Stabilization means that civilian population at the end will be the one controlling there will be the delegates, the governors, the commissioners, everything will be the civilian population. Any land liberated will be handed over to the civilian population. That is exactly the point. I thank all of you people so much. That's why block by block remains the best strategy in this struggle. Where people from man, you can go and fight in Libya. Libyan people can come and fight in Fako, can go and fight in anywhere they want to fight. Come to other state and fight. That is why we say block by block is the best way. You don't have a siege. You don't have a base. You continue to move and dribbling the enemy. As the enemy is following you, some people will take the enemy by surprise from the back. I want to thank also the professionalism of all Amazonian forces. There is no day they have made a mistake and hit a civilian vehicle. Cameroon has shot civilians, shot even an American pastor, shot Kenyan pastor, Father Cosmos, Ghanaian pastor. But civilians, but Ambazonia fighters have not made any mistake and taken down a civilian vehicle by mistake. In those routes that the military pass, civilian vehicles are passing there every day. But the professionalism and the precision of the Ambazonian fighters have only unleashed the wrath into the enemies. I want each and everyone to show that solidarity, love for Ambazonian forces by showing some love to this video and sharing this video to all platforms. Let all Ambazonian fighters know that we are thanking them for their professionalism. Cameroon military have lost a lot in stray bullets and killed civilians. You have not seen that an Amba stray bullet had hit a civilian. Cameroon forces have lost and killed. Unprofessionalism is the Cameroon military. The professionalism is the Amba forces. They have always hit Cameroon armored vehicles. Never a day have they even made a mistake to hit a small one. They target only the big ones. This is called professionalism. Tactical movement. Strategic takes. Everyone please press the love button. Let them know that we see what they are doing. And we encourage them to continue to stand in that target. Shoulder by shoulder. People thought that they are going to make mistakes. I remember sometime. Today we have seen Nancho Clovis, or how you call him, crying. I hope I had the video of Nancho Clovis crying. Clovis is crying today. I think I have a video of him crying and saying how La Repubblica, how Ambazonians have destroyed La Republic. And saying that more will come. This is him. I want you all to listen to this. Listen to this. This is Clovis.
And I'm not going to take risk when military ever take that risk without the way end. I want to first of all why you talk so I talk the truth. Look, Amba Pikin, they will use backbone. Backbone, we should do with 2 bullets. But you military go Amoka, the war jeep, the go bigger and original AK-47, but that is standard.
I hope this. Where is the volume? Let me put the volume very well so you can hear.
I'm not going to take risk when military ever take that risk without the way end. I want to first of all why you talk so I talk the truth. Look, Amba Pikin, they will use backbone. Backbone, we should do with 2 bullets. But you military go Amoka, the war jeep, the go bigger and original AK-47, but that is standard look so much down. For tension of that Pikin get hacked past you. That's the truth. Because you military don't get it back over 5 person with automatic AK, well 42 round. One you know fit. The one who tells the bear risk will not be better. That's the reality on ground. Why you don't like the truth? You don't like the live by the truth with and the rate wait. And Amba will be well devoted. He gets strong ambition past humanity, man. He be prepared. What will be the reaction like that? What will be the reaction will happen? It don't happen. And because when nobody come back, without going to Nigeria, they come back. Now we see what will happen. And me I tell you more they come. Now we hear so. Since una feel una over day, una over season, una over plenty, una over notebook, una over less strategy, una fight the fight. Man tell you the highest man waiting for Babenda and nobody. Whether you like it or not, me I tell you that today. At the camp. Man tell you military man. When I say you see military, I talk the strategy of
Water. Now we the talk. Not be pep. Now we the talk. This Nancho Clovis where my country people don't the day the show say they know. Where my country people day today? Where Kawa Yanik day? Where Nambere day? Where Dr. Good Success day? By the way, Dr. Good Success is being haunted by Nigeria at the same time haunted by Cameroon. He oh my God, he scammed a lot of people in Nigeria. Scammed a lot. When Dr. Success decided to come to Cameroon was actually a tactical move to hide away from Nigeria. He came to Cameroon as a way to seek refuge. Then after he came to Cameroon, DNA is DNA. This guy was fighting against to end SARS in Nigeria. People did not know because SARS was also taking money that he wanted to embezzle, scam from people. So he was fighting against SARS because an armed robber fighting against another armed robber. He came to Cameroon, started using names of ministers, names of people with high portfolio, political people to take money from people. The last one is a businesswoman. Franklin Jumbe is the one crying now that hunting for Dr. Success. Franklin Jumbe is hunting for success. At the same time, Franklin Jumbe has been sentenced in Yaoundé for defamation. Defamation because of what? When they talk like this guy, Nancho Clovis, or what they call Nankolo Clovis, he's going to face his own too. Nambere spoke like this and he's nowhere to be found now. You are talking Kawa Yannick protest, and where is he today? Those who protest in DDR Center, where are they today? Are they freed? Where are they? In the underground bunker. He's talking. Very soon you will not see Nancho Clovis. Where is my country people who spoke like this too, trying to show that he know? Where is Dr. Nicholas Santos? Where is Sofoncha? Where are those people? Where are those who try to fail? Look, my fellow brothers and sisters, these talkers ordained by God. Oh man. Look, this is somebody, Dr. Success Good now, who now says that ADF is the only way out. Look, listen.
Ayabacho is that Ayabacho, let me tell you something. Because I have met some officials in Cameroon, and I was also privileged to meet some other international communities, I mean my words, I have first-hand knowledge that the only pressure group in Amazonia that the international communities are afraid of is ADF. Is ADF. And ADF has a mastery, or AGC has a mastery of the craftiness of the international community. So I want us to minor on their weaknesses, then major on their strength. Because everyone has a weak. When I told them, when I told them, you don't need to love Ayaba. Just love his strategy, period. You asked me a question about Ayaba, I've not even answered you. I trust the strategies of Ayaba. But he's not my friend. But because I trust his strategy, I must, if I want to get what I want to get, I must align myself with him. You don't need to trust me. Listen, we are not looking for priests. We are not looking for reverend fathers. We are not looking for angels. We are looking for liberators, strategies. Tapan is this. Tapan. If Tapan has what it takes to give me freedom, even if Tapan is the one who killed my mother, I will follow Tapan. For Christ.
My fellow brothers and sisters, we know already when he is short of money, he said things like this. But the truth is the truth. We are aware of who this guy is coming. We are aware of who this guy is. We know where we are going to. We have endorsed what we have endorsed, projected what we have projected. And if you think you're going to fight to win by destroying Ayaba in London or whatever you want to do, where is Dr. Fidelis? Today, the same Louis Stars who asked the Bui warriors to kill their own brothers, he resigned. Ran away from his own house in UK, and he's living now in the white people's neighborhood in UK. Last time I got a fact finding from him, he saw a black man in the white people community. The next day he saw that black little guy, he called the police, thinking that is Amba Dangote. He is not living in peace. I heard now he's having high blood left and right. But if you did the right thing, you will not have high blood. You have killed. You know that the 36 that were killing Bui, you did. You had all it takes to stop that. You had everything. You could have even said, okay, you people should lock them while we carry out investigation. But no, because of fight for power, you thought you hit a jackpot already. You thought the government has brought the freedom from the court, as they say, that Switzerland is already going to give independence and you will now come and be a governor for the state of Bui. It's not like that. It's not a walk on the park. It's not a walk on the park. You have to fight every day and be clean. Fellow Amazonians, you see all these things. We are not going to blink. We know what we are looking for. And the enemy is not going to stop us. Continue to do what is right. You continue to do what's right. The enemy is not going to stop us. We are going to continue to do exactly what is right. You have people like this lady, wonderful ladies, that they use in order to cause division, seeds of discord in Amazonia, the blue and white army. They raised Sako to where it is today. When women like this, beautiful women being used. Where is Kukumba Dabling? Where is Emma Larry? The Lovers Monarch, the Jifa Kochi. Where's Ata John? Where's Terry Apompo? Where is Yannick Shikot? Where is Tato Eric that was with them, by the way? Well, fellow brothers and sisters, this is a wake-up call to each and everyone to think, unlearn and relearn, unthink and rethink. So that you can have new ways to think and say things that will not put you in jeopardy. We have gone and our people have gone through a lot, and you cannot continue to go through a lot because of lack of knowledge, lack of common sense. Unlearn and relearn the new ways. Unthink and rethink the right way. It's okay to make mistakes, but to take the rightful decision and apologize to your people is human. You make mistakes, but you have never stood to say, look, we did this, we thought it was a rightful thing. Even Paul Biya tried to say that they colonized Amazonia because they thought Amazonia was 20% and that was a way to make Cameroon good. Why would you not stand and fight ADF and declare war against ADF, kill 36 in Bui, and you have discovered that's the wrong thing? You leave the struggle and leave your house, rent a place in UK, and you cannot even stand to tell your people that you were manipulated or that you took a wrong decision. So your people can forgive you, or your people can know that you apologized. If you actually want freedom for your people, why will you just sit quiet just to retaliate? So people who believe in you continue to think that you did the rightful thing. So those who listen to you in Alphabet, Libya, Lem, ABC, TV should continue to think that you did the rightful thing. That's why you don't want to come and say you are sorry that what you did was not right. But you are still the weakest, the strongest enemy of the struggle, because people who listen to you in that TV still believe that you did the right thing. Those are the wicked devils that we must shunt. The wicked, evil people in this struggle. Anyone can make a mistake, but you can seek forgiveness to your people. If you really love your people and you respect your people have gone through a lot. No one has ever apologized to our people. And anyone who makes mistakes and don't apologize, you are evil. Even a Mark Barretta who said that, who supported the interim government, came and said, lie to lie. That was a bad thing to do. Eric Tato came and apologized that the government was all evil. But because he's so arrogant enough that he cannot have submission, he thought he could create an army. One time, Eric Tato himself said that he had the biggest army in Bamenda. Now, you can see that all these La Republique Amo vehicles going down. Have you asked Eric Tato, where is the DAC putting down Amo vehicles? Because you are all afraid of him? Because he speaks with a loud voice? The Eagle Eye is not afraid of anyone in this struggle. The Eagle Eye is not even our leader, Dr. Cho, is the Eagle Eye is afraid of. Eric Tato said he has the biggest army in Bamenda, quote unquote. He said it, we have the screenshot. Where is the biggest force in Bamenda acting? Now we have seen other forces. We have seen even Sako guys that have no gun, we know them. They have no gun, we see them. Where is the biggest force of Eric Tato with DAC in Bamenda when he took money from you in DAC? We saw Eric Tato with a new car in America. We saw the car. When he hired a Yobo person that he picked from the street and hired, as if he doesn't see an Amba person. You gave money for DAC. He went and instead hired but an Ayobo woman. He doesn't see Amba people. But a person like me have a business in Dubai. I have not hired an Amba person or even a person from Asia to work under me. I hired people from Africa. I hired Amba people to work under me in Dubai. In my businesses, I hired Amba people to work under. I help Amba people. The least you have money from people you hired or your person to come and work for you, your National Telegraph. You give job to your wife. You can't give it to another person. What makes you think that if you become a minister, are you not going to give it to your family people? Family person climb tree. Family person chop manga. These are type of things that I want people, Amazonian people, you are full of dexterity. I want you to begin to reason. That you create a Mandela, you make but your own wife to become a chairman of the Mandela. Is that what it is? I don't even have any of my family person inside Mandela. For what? For where? What are they going to do there? Now family organization. Now family organization. Even charity organization, people that enhance my activities are not even family members. People that enhance the money are not family members. Then you come create National Telegraph using DAC. You just come take your wife, be the chairman, or your board people. You give job. You know, I give any Amba person work for inside. Amazonian people, be aware. All these things we are seeing. To settle in America, no easy. I understand. You have to use any way by crude method to settle in America. They have new cars now. You don't even have a bicycle. I have showcased you what I have before the struggle. You know what I am. You know this struggle has inside. Like one of you, I'm supporting, and I don't have more money like before. I want you all to think and reason. These are things. These are facts. If Eric Tato have to talk about Sako's car was being done, they pay his rent, but you buy a new car. What happened to Dak? You just abandon Dak like that? It's like me abandoning Mandela family. How will you think, Amazonian people? Well, I don't hate Eric Tato. I don't hate anyone. I just criticize things that you used to call Toto Ayaba a good. You are the one who made people to support Sako for a long time. If you did not carry all these people to Sako, they would have been supporting Akwanga and Ayaba. Akwanga would have not gone down. You made Akwanga to come under Sako because of the money they contributed when you were a basket man. Those people went to Sako because of you. Just as Ayaba, I will blame, if Ayaba is wrong today, they will blame people like Lucas Ashu, Kapo Dade, me, Tapang Ivo. Because it is me, Lucas Ashu, Tapang Ivo and the rest, and Kapo Dade that took people to Ayaba Cho Lucas. That is a fact. That's a fact. If Ayaba failed, blame on us. I want you people to understand that. We want to say it as it is. So tomorrow, use my words against me. Anytime I make mistake, use my words against me. I can go to Eric Tato's word. You call women as prostitute. Call Dr. Cho Ayaba as a good. Say Sako was a good leader. Call Ayaba as a scammer. Who is a scammer today? Who is a good today? Who are these prostitutes today? Those who went and eat crabs in hotel. You yourself say Sako and Irene Ngwa were caught in the hotel in Maryland. They ate crab for $8,000 a week, slept in that hotel. You are the one who said that. Who are now the prostitute in the revolution? Fellow brothers and sisters, God bless you all. Thank you. I want you all to reason as we are moving forward. I am back. We have done what we have done on the grounds. Anytime I told you, when you don't see me in media, because we are doing the great works on the grounds, you see the results. And when what we have programmed is going elapsing, we are going to go again on the ground and do what we do. La Republic will never control the land. Never, as far as God is concerned. Never will La Republic. You can see the DDR center I told you was done. I continue to tell you that the DDR center is done. We told you that. We are maintaining our word. We told you the DDR center was gone, and we maintain our word that the DDR center is done. We were not speaking water in our mouth. We know what we did to tell you that the DDR center was done. We did what we had to do. Today you see all the people in DDR center, they are crying, they are talking, they are saying this and that. Because we knew that the enemy, look, lies are temporary in this contemporary world. The truth, the only thing that lasts in contemporary world is the truth. And I want you all to understand that. I want you all to understand that the truth is going to last forever. And you do not stress a lot when you speak the truth. But when you do lies, speak lies, the conspiracy and deceit, they're only temporary in this contemporary world that we are all passing by. So I urge each and everyone as we leave from this platform today to speak the truth, endorse the truth, and only speak the truth, because that will set us free. Fellow brothers and sisters, my fellow brethren, we pray today for divine wisdom, understanding the gifts of the Holy Spirit, self-control, that we must all seek and speak the truth, that we must shame lies, and all endorse what is right, what stand for the people. That for everything that we do, we should do it for the benefit of our people. That when people come together to pool resources in a Watana movement to go and kill sister forces, we should not be part of that dark, wicked, demonic movements. As we leave on this platform today, we pray that God should put his hands on us. For everything that we do, it should be according to the will of God, because in God we trust. Indeed, the struggle is ordained by God, and anyone who tries to fight against the people of God as the Israelite, water is going to swipe them away. They are going to be drowned in one way or the other. The Namberes are crying. The DDR Center is crying. The Nancho Clovis are crying. The Kawa Kawa Yaneks are crying. The Dr. Success Good are crying. The Franklin Jumbes are being humiliated. Fellow brothers and sisters, rejoice, rejoice, for the end of La Republic hegemony and mayhem to our people is coming to an end. Fellow brothers and sisters, as it is said in the Beatitude, blessed are those who weep now, for they shall laugh. Blessed are the poor, for they shall be rich in the spirit. Blessed are those who are sad now, for they shall be happy. And I say, blessed are you all Amazonian people who are mourning now, for you shall celebrate. Blessed are you those in the refugee camps who don't have what to eat, you shall be nourished. Blessed are those who are on exile today, because soon you shall be filled with properties and wealth. Blessed are those who are in prison, because soon you shall have an everlasting freedom. Blessed are you all who are in the bushes, because soon you shall own the towns and cities. Blessed are you, the Amba boys in the bushes, because soon power and tenacity will be unleashed in your hands. You shall control the territory. Blessed are you who give everything that you have today, as God blessed Sarah and Abraham when they were already at the age of after menopause. You shall be blessed in your businesses. You shall be blessed at your works with promotions. You shall be blessed in your investment with a lot of value, a lot of equity. You shall be blessed in everything you do, in any action, in everything that you do, in that accident that you are about to get yourself into. It shall not happen. In that uncalculated journey that you are about to take that can set you back, you shall miss it, because of your tenacity, because of your wonderful act of humanitarian gesture, your gift to your people. You shall be set free. Because COVID-19 or any act of sickness, any virus, be it Ebola, Zika virus, be it any sickness that is about to hit your family, it shall be out. It shall not see your family. I call each and every one of you to seek the truth. I call each and every one of you to have self-integrity. I call each and every one of you to understand what profit a man to gain the whole world and not his own soul. I call each and every one of you to understand that salvation is personal. And the last but not the least, I would want to share this story with you. There was once a king. This king has a lot of servants, people working for him. And this king also has so many so many dogs, wild dogs, the hyenas. And whenever any of his servants, any of his workers, his employees do something bad, he will take it and throw them into the fence of his dogs, and the dogs will feed. The dogs will eat the person. One day there was one of his servants that worked for him for 10 years, more than 10 years. He gave a bad advice, not intentionally. He made a mistake. And the king decided to throw him to the hyenas, to the dogs to eat. And so this servant came and begged him and said, please, can you give me 10 days? Just give me 10 days before you throw me to the hyenas to eat me. And the king accepted. He went immediately behind without the king knowing and asked the person that used to feed the dogs, please, can you allow me to feed the dogs for the next 10 days? You know, the dog feeder is a low-class job. And this person was the higher class job. He was the one that is closer to the king. That means he was a higher portfolio job. And the dog feeder said, how can this Oga say that I should allow him to feed the dog? Okay, the dog feeder said, okay, feed the dogs. So every day he goes to feed the dogs. He make the dogs feel comfortable. He shows some love to the dogs. The hyenas, he pet them. He make them feel comfortable and massage them. Give them food and dry flies from them. Yeah, he clean them. Give them food to eat for 10 days. For these 10 days, he built relationship with the hyenas and the dogs. The hyenas and the dogs were so in love with him. And so the number 10th day reached. And he went to the king and said he's ready to be thrown to the dogs and the hyenas so the hyenas can eat him. So the chief said, okay, the time came and the chief ordered that they should take him and throw to the dogs for the dogs to eat him because he gave a bad advice. They threw him to the dogs and the hyenas, and the dogs and hyenas came and were licking him and showing love to him and licking his feet and just playing with him. And the king was, what has happened to my dogs? This has never happened. What is going on with my dogs? My dogs eat everything. Any human being that ever threw there, the dogs eat. And the servant turned and told the king, I serve you for more than 10 years. I make one mistake. You decide to end my life. I have only served these dogs for 10 days. And these dogs have not in any way treated me bad because for the past 10 years I did not serve them. The king put his head down and cried and asked that they should let the man free. Fellow Ambazonians, this is a lesson to all of you people. I will ask you, why do you hate Dr. Cho Ayaba? You will come and quote me because of what happened in Gusa. And I will come to ask you what happened in Gusa. You will understand with me that it started when Nambere was sent by Sako to go and disarm the ADF. And you will know that everyone that died in Gusang, except the ADF commander that was killed first, you know that was Nambere's team. And you will not believe with me that Nambere showcased his colors, that he was sponsored by Cameroon. And now you will know that everyone that was working with Nambere was sponsored by Cameroon. And if you are closer to God, and you cannot kneel down and say, thank you, Lord, those who were with Nambere, who would have set this struggle back, that before the ADF had always been pinpoint to be in a place where God is the one in control. That if you really understand objectivism, that there would have been so many Namberes in this struggle, that God did what happened in Gusang was the act of God. And that if you are objective today, you should thank God. What profit a man to gain the whole world on the soul? You are bound to think like revolutionaries. It is like those who were in Sofoncha. Now you are now seeing Sofoncha being a wicked devil. And now you see some people that were in Sofoncha and you don't even follow them up. And those people are causing a lot of mayhem in this struggle. Because you don't follow people up. You don't want to follow people up. Hallelujah. These are things that I want all of us to be at the same point, the same page. So we should stop. You hate Dr. Cho Ayaba because of what happened in Gusa. But you do not want to take your time to see who were the players in Gusa. Who ordered for the disarm of the ADF in Gusa? Why that issue went? Why there was an in-house fight? Because somebody was sent to disarm the ADF. Who sent somebody to disarm? And who disarmed the ADF? And where is that person today? These are things I want you to just use your own brain. I don't want to give the conclusion. Use your brain so we can be on the same page. If you say Dr. Cho Ayaba made a mistake, that he has served a nation for these years and make one mistake, and then you want to hate him, what is the difference between you and the king? That upon the self-defense that he preached, that you are now clapping hands, you still hate him for one mistake he did. That the self-defense that everyone is now clapping hands because you see Ekelebe is dying down and Switzerland has failed to make Cameroon to blink. And the independence from the court has never even arrived until leaders are in prison and police cannot even write a letter of solidarity to Ayuk Sesekotabi. And that finally, it is that self-defense that Dr. Cho and Akwanga was talking. That Dr. Cho Ayaba insisted that he cannot go to a government when self-defense is not endorsed. That it is a self-defense now that's causing Cameroon to blink. And you will still hate Ayaba because of one thing that you believe, which you are not even thinking objectively. Let us say that, yes, God has not given you objective thinking. That you still hate him for that one thing. What is the difference between you and the king who wanted to kill his servant because of one mistake he did and made the 99% good thing he did? What's the difference? If I talk the story of the king and the servant, you thought the king was a bad person, but indeed you are. There is another story I want to share here today. Permit me to say the second one. From the Holy Book of God. This story I want to tell you here. When God sent Prophet Nathan to King David, Prophet Nathan came to David and said, there was one person who had strangers came to visit him, the visitors came to visit him, and he has so many flock, he has so many, let's say, sheep, flock, flock, group of sheep. He has so many of them. He decided to send his servant, shepherd, to go and take but the sheep of another person to come and kill, to feed his visitors. King David said, wow, God should punish that person. That's a bad person. Why? That's an evil person. And Prophet Nathan said, you are the one. King David started crying. How has he done this? King David said, you are the one with multiple sheep. When your visitor came, you went and took somebody's own and fed your own visitors with. And Prophet Nathan explained, you have so many women you have. What will make you to take the wife of Uriah the Hittite? Not even enough. You slept with the wife of somebody and you make the wife pregnant. And then you send his husband to Uriah the Hittite to the war front until they kill Uriah the Hittite. And that's exactly the reason why he was sent to the war front. And then you took his wife now and kept in your palace, the beautiful Bathsheba. You have so many, you have your flock. And then you see one person who had only one sheep and took care of it until it was bulky, so beautiful, because that was the only thing that he has in his life. And you took it and instead killed the person. King David prayed that God should forgive him. But God brought a lot of tribulation to King David's family. One of those tribulations where God said, King David, your women will become widowers. When God say like this, what is the meaning? If you are a husband and God say your wife will become a widow, you know the meaning? God told King David this in the Bible. And God made David's daughter, Talma, to be raped by David's son, Absalom. These are tribulations God gave to King David. David's son, Absalom, raped the sister, which is David's daughter, Talma. These things are in the Holy Book. God brought a lot of chaos in King David's family, even when he prayed. He prayed further and prayed. I think God spared his life, but God, the woman, the wife that Bathsheba, they had pregnancy, God decided when they gave birth to the child, God killed the child. The gods of the mountain, Ishmael, God decided to take the life of the child. And to make sure that King David feel the pains, God took the life of the child, Ishmael, which means gods of the mountain. It's in the Bible. So, my fellow brothers and sisters, when the ADF, Dr. Cho Ayaba, has told you that self-defense was the only way out, and went further to the village to inaugurate self-defense, you told the world that it was Nigeria. Finally, when Cameroon came and attacked that village, now you say it was the Jiangsu boys, that they had Jiangsus. They have no arms. And finally, when they had their arms, what happened? You acted like King David. You sent Nambere to go and disarm their arms. You laughed them in Daddy that they had no arms, that they had no shoes. When they had the shoes in Bui, what happened? You asked their shoes to be removed. And you took their arms. What's the difference between you and King David, who took the beautiful Bathsheba? That is why the end of AAC. That is why the misfortune, and that's why the decline of all these evil people. That's why Nambere showed his colors. That's why we see the people that supported these people today are crying. They are nowhere to be found. Where is Yannick Shikot? Where is Kukumba Dabling? Where is Terry Apompo? Where is Emma Larry? Tell me your leader and I tell you who you are. Tell me your friends and I tell you who you are. The truth cannot lie. The truth cannot be hidden. Lies are temporary. You thought you can kill Bathsheba's husband and took Bathsheba and add to your flocks of women, and God will just sit like that. Because you now believe in self-defense that you didn't believe before. When Dr. Cho Ayaba was telling you, now you believe in self-defense and you don't want to show appreciation and thank Dr. Cho Ayaba. Now you think that you can do what Ayaba was doing by coming to kidnap Ayaba. Then you try, it was not easy. You try it and it's not easy. You try and the guys are not giving you the result. Then you want to go and corrupt General Ivan back to join you. Corrupt, use matriculation on my trip to Buya to say, if you come under me, you are a field marshal. If you come under me, I will give you salary of 100,000 every month. Yet no one receives salary till today. And then the few that you took, like the General Nambere, you use them to kill other people who don't want to come under you. And you think you shall last. It's only temporary. It's only temporary. Only the truth can last for long. The ADF endured a lot of pains with consistency, determination, with a lot of focus and hard work. Today, the sweat is not hidden. I call you Ambazonian people. Seek ye the truth first and stand for the truth, and God will vindicate us with everlasting independence. Our people have given their life and their all. When they contribute, they are not contributing for you to use to kill one another. It's for the enemy. God empowered David to fight a Goliath. God empowered the Israelites to fight the enemy. In the Holy Wars, God empowered King David's army, the Saul army, to defeat the enemy. God has empowered us to take our destiny. But only the truth, and only with the truth, with this contemporary world, we shall fight and liberate ourselves. I call you all today, as you are all here, to be the ambassadors of truth, to be the ambassadors of peace, ambassadors of harmony, and ambassadors of unity, so that our land can be freed. In the mighty name of the Creator. Thank you so much for coming to Liberation TV Press Briefing. Thank you, fellow Mandelas, for the wonderful job you are doing. Continue to bring meaningful collaboration among sister forces and our people on the ground. Thank you so much. God bless you, all of you Ambazonian people. Thank you, Ground Zero. You make us proud. Those are our refugees in Nigeria, Ghana, all over the world, those in exile, and not forgetting those in the bushes, not forgetting those people, everyone in the jail, prison, and dungeons, without forgetting the voices in the bushes. He said, thank you so much. Go in peace. The land shall be liberated. The future is pregnant. I see a clear light coming. For every storm must come sunshine, and we are about to start getting our sunshine. The only thing left is stabilization of homeland, neighborhood by neighborhood, block by block, rooftop by rooftop. Thank you so much. God bless you, and have a wonderful time, and goodbye. This has been yours, Mandela Family Spokesman, young rich nigger, aka Amba Dangote, CEO Verla, and goodbye.
Kama vile zilivyojaa mimina, ziteremshe tuzipokee Bwana. Mimina Bwana neema zako, mimina kati yetu, mimina neema tele, mimina Mungu wetu, mimina leo neema nyingi, mimina tufurahi, mimina Bwana, mimina leo, mimina Bwana, mimina. Mimina Bwana neema zako, mimina kati yetu, mimina neema tele, mimina Mungu wetu, mimina leo neema nyingi, mimina tufurahi, mimina Bwana, mimina leo, mimina neema, mimina. Mimina Bwana neema zako, mimina kati yetu, mimina neema tele, mimina, Mungu wetu mimina, leo neema nyingi mimina, tufurahi mimina, Bwana mimina, leo mimina, Bwana mimina. Mimina Bwana neema zako mimina, kati yetu mimina, neema tele mimina, Mungu wetu mimina, leo neema nyingi mimina, tufurahi mimina, Bwana mimina, leo mimina, neema mimina.